Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. The King and I Life podcast, hosted by myself, Soul Touch the Poet, and my compadres up in this joint.
Son Soul Lex.
Look, y'all know what to do. Y'all know how to reach us. Y'all know how to hit us up. But we're gonna get right back into it. Son Soul Lex, go ahead, because you said you was gonna say your stuff.
All right. So the thing that I was getting at, or the thoughts that I was going to relay to everyone is when you are in a position like this man right here, right? And I'm sure everybody or most of you heard that terminology, usually where there's smoke, there's a fire.
Mm-hmm.
So each time a female comes forth, that's like either throwing more gasoline on the fire or throwing another log on that mug. So by him, again, like Kim was saying, Miss Phoenix was saying, coming out apologizing, you're basically saying, yeah, I did do that. Now, it might not have been to the extent of what they're saying I did, but some of it I may have partaken in. So again, you kind of made yourself a target at that point. So like Soul Toucher was saying, you basically open yourself up because you're saying, yeah, I did do it. So now at that point, any female that comes along and say he winked at me, that's another dang near another charge. You know, even if you never seen this chick before, never been in the same room with her, whatever the case, at that point, you have opened yourself up to get more gasoline poured on your situation.
And by no means am I saying creepy dudes shouldn't be held accountable, but we're going to keep it all the way 100 here on this podcast. Some women are going to fabricate for the come up. They will jump. I'm going to bring it up. Might be a touchy subject, but at least 3 of the women in the Bill Cosby scandal admitted that they lied. It never happened. Some women are in it for 15 minutes of fame or for a check. So it's scary. It's scary that all it takes is for somebody to say, yeah, me too, and flip somebody's whole world upside down. By no means am I saying what Bill Cosby did was right. I do look at the other people that were accused, the Weinsteins and the Epsteins, and I find it awfully funny how they're not canceled. They're not all splashed through the media. They're not villainized. It's just they didn't go to jail. We don't talk about it anymore. It's not a topic. People that we know are truly like this shouldn't be getting a pass to live happily ever after. Let's pull anything that he was ever attached to. I don't care what it is. Let's get rid of all of that. If the cancel culture is canceling the R. Kellys and the Bill Cosbys, and let's cancel everybody that is accused of this. Like it's not a pick and choose kind of thing. It's if it's attached to you, it's got to be gone. I didn't hear anybody saying cancel Weinstein. I didn't hear that. So for me, it's just like the person we talking about now. And y'all have to say his name because y'all know how I say it and it's incorrect. Yes, that gentleman.
Mr. Cuomo.
Think about cancel him. I mean, it should be immediate because that's how it's been for others.
This whole cancel culture, I wish they would get rid of that label for things. Now, when it comes to stuff like this, it really pisses me off because as you were saying earlier, it starts somewhere. It's that wink, it's that brush up against somebody and that giggle and oh, your cologne smell good, or oh, your perfume smell good, oh, you look nice in that suit, sir, or oh, sweetheart, you look nice in that dress, that color looks good on you. If you generally and all around take offense to someone giving you those type of compliments, then yes, you need to say, hey, thank you, but I don't roll like that. You need to make it known, because for me, these things have been going on for so long.
Correct.
That they should not be going on. Like, dudes should not be doing this, not knowing if it's welcomed or not. Women should not be doing this either if they don't know it's welcomed or not. People should not be doing this, not knowing or they just shouldn't open the door for that to happen, as you were saying. And it's frustrating because now we're at this point where everybody picks a damn corner and everybody's throwing stones at the middle, and it's like, hey, your stones are going to miss my stones, our stones are going to hit each other in the face, and then what are we really talking about here? Because yes, these other people are not being plastered all over. It's just like they're picking and choosing who they want to really slam on stuff like this. And it's just ridiculous because, hey, if it's sexual harassment, it's sexual harassment. If you open the door for this to go on, you need to shut the hell up. You just need to shut up. If you and this person had this flirtatious thing going on, and you get to a point to where it's like, I don't want to rock with this no more, you should feel comfortable enough, man or woman, to say to that other person, hey, you know what? I know we used to do this, that, and the other, but at this point,
and then as soon as you say that, if it continues, then it's sexual harassment.
That's then it's a problem. Like, yeah, but and one thing that I can say about the military these days, they have zero tolerance for that. And, it only takes one damn time. It only takes for a bystander to see something like that out of whack and say something. But the sad part is, these two people over here who are flirting back and forth or whatever, they could be minding their damn business and it's cool with them. But if somebody else sees it and they have a problem with it, it's a problem.
And I think that is,
and it's like, yo, we're minding our business over here. You need to mind your business. It's not cool. But in certain situations, it's like, you know what, bravo, because hey, sometimes it might be out of order. But the individual who feels like that behavior is out of line needs to let that person know, hey, this is out of line, especially if, you've opened the door for that previously. If you didn't open the door for that, then it is what it is. You need to handle your business. But if you open the door for that, you can't turn around later and be like, oh, well, 3 years ago, he made me feel uncomfortable because he brushed up against me. But y'all was kikiing all, nah.
Me, myself personally, my stomach turns at where we are as a society concerning things now. It's pretty much, if you have a difference of opinion, then you are victim shaming. You are homophobic. You are gay bash. It's just, if it's just a difference of opinion, it's wrong. And we shouldn't feel like we can't say what we feel, or we can't say our opinion without backlash for it. the reality of it is this sexual harassment stuff is happening at alarming rates. And I feel like it's 2021. Why are we still having these issues? Like, this is ridiculous.
Right.
And I think back and I'm like, back whenever no one was really saying anything, I'm not like, I get it. It was happening because nobody was saying anything. Now the whistle is being blown loud and clear. Why are we still having this issue? And it's because not enough of them are getting locked up. If every time there is a proven case of sexual harassment, you got to do a little jail time, I bet you people will be sitting at home talking about some, yeah, I like so-and-so, but I ain't going to touch their ass and I ain't going to say nothing inappropriate because I don't want to go to jail. There's not enough consequences that happen. And then when there are consequences, they are not swift enough. I feel like it's like getting caught by your parent putting a hand in a cookie jar. If you know you're going to get that, them cookies in that jar is worth that. But if you know she going to pull your pants down or your daddy going to pull your pants down and give you the once over and you got to sit sideways for a few days because your bum hurts, I bet you ain't going to go in that cookie jar no more. Man, forget them cookies. Shoot.
Pretty much.
I don't want them cookies that bad. I mean, it's just sometimes the consequences are not swift enough for those that are truly guilty. He's guilty. And to me, as soon as you say you're sorry, you guilty. Because any sane person be like, what am I apologizing for? Why am I going to say that? I'm not going to say that. I didn't do nothing. I didn't do what she said I did anyway. I didn't do what he said I did. And another thing is, men get sexually harassed too. I ain't seen one woman brought up on charges. Not one. But they do it. I know they do it. And I know for a fact that while we are always talking about women are being victim shamed, I know for a fact men get victim shamed. And that's why they don't speak up. That's why they don't say anything. It is looked upon like you less of a man. Man, you tripping because she pushing up on you, man. Shoot, get out the way. I'll take that. All of that. And the police are you serious right now? Oh, she did what to you? Oh, the real victims are those that do speak up and are made fun of and not taken seriously. And to be honest, those are men. Men are victims way more than what's being talked about. And nobody is saying anything because a man should be able to take that. He should be okay. And then men are ashamed if they are sexually harassed by another man. A heterosexual man ain't gonna open his mouth and say one word about another man sexually harassing him. So when is it going to be safe for true victims to open their mouth? When? And when is it going to be a system put into place that when you lie on someone, that you receive the punishment that was on the table for them? Far too many times I see cases where someone has cried wolf and either the man has lost it all or he has spent a decade or more in prison for something he didn't do. All based on a lie. So when are people going to be held accountable for the lies? Like these women that admitted that they lied on Bill Cosby. They ain't seen the inside of the jail. They weren't even charged with anything. Not anything as small as filing a false police report, which is a very real thing. Like, nothing happens to people that falsely accuse. I think that is an issue in this as well. Because I can go from legit touching two women that I didn't have no business putting my hands on, but because I did that to those two women, then 13 other ones line up and say I did it to them too, and I know I didn't. I just feel like our society is going to have to figure out a system that is delivering true justice for everybody.
So Lex, you got something on that?
She delivered it so well. I don't know if I can add to it. I'll attempt though. I would say I have been. I've had females and one guy who, go that way, make a pass at me. The females, I just laughed, kept going. The guy, it made me feel uncomfortable.
And it
did. To say the least. It made me feel uncomfortable, but, I'm one of those type of people, I don't read into it if I'm not going in that direction. And I definitely don't go in that direction. So I just let it be what it was. But I could see how people can take that and run with it. Meaning, when someone makes a pass at you, you have to make up your mind at that point. Do I want to let this person know right here, right now, that's not acceptable?
Mm-hmm.
Or do I want to keep letting it go? Meaning this person keeps on making passes at you until it gets to a point where at that point it's uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. So yesterday it was okay, but today is not. Mm-hmm. So being, someone who's receiving that type of attention, you have to put that in check. Meaning right when it happens, right then and there. Don't wait, like Phoenix was saying, 3 years down the road, like, oh no, it's not appropriate now. What?
I just don't get it.
So you basically open yourself up for it because you didn't check it from the gate.
Yeah.
And the whole we shaming the victim is not that's not what we're doing. It's just hard for us to wrap our minds around. Why wouldn't you say something before now?
Right.
Yeah. To piggyback off of what you're saying about, the people, the real victims being victim shamed and stuff like that. Part of the issue is you have the true victims who are ridiculed for opening their mouths, and they go tell somebody else that, this happened to me and they laughed at me and blah, blah, blah. Now, if that person that you have this conversation with has a similar situation like that, they're not going to be prone to open their mouth about it. And right. I don't know how this spread, I don't know how this mentality got spread like wildfire to where it's like, well, I heard such and such, this happened to such and such, and they got laughed at, nothing happened, so I'm not going to do it. Mm-hmm. And then TV, media, movies, and all of this, they use those scenarios in movies, and it catches on to people. So I will say that is one situation to where television influences people's behavior. Mm-hmm. Another thing that I would want to say is you have a couple of choices if you don't like that behavior happening to you, man or woman. Mm-hmm. You could either let that person know right then and there, hey, this ain't acceptable, or you can take another option is blatantly and publicly ignore the shit out of them. Because when, let's just say you buy the water cooler and somebody come and brush up against you, hey, sexy, or hey, beautiful, or whatever the case may be, and you don't like that, and then that person approaches you in public where everybody can see, and you blatantly ignore that person, walk away from that person to where everybody can see, and they be like, yo, what the hell's going on there? And be like, oh, yo, old boy or old girl came up to me and said blah, 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 and I don't rock like that. Right. That person is on spotlight now. With with that manner, you don't have to be like, oh, well, damn, I don't feel comfortable saying nothing. You just have to have a strong mindset that, you know what, I'm not for that. And this is how I'm going to carry it. To speak on what you were saying about the laws and stuff like this, you know, the sad part to me about the laws in America and in a lot of countries that have similar laws like us is that you're right. The perpetrator is not held accountable. You know, the justice system for us is so just all over the place that it's like, okay, this person raped somebody or harassed somebody, they get a slap on the wrist, or you know, depending on what city, state, or what color the perpetrator is, they either get a slap on the wrist or they get hung to hell. Now, with these people to get slaps on the wrist, it's like, this person did X, Y, and Z to me, and this is all they getting. Now, in some countries, you commit crimes like this against women, you get your ass castrated.
Yep.
Do I agree with that? Hell yeah, I agree with that. Because you should not have done that to this person who you have a position of power over. So yeah, you get castrated. And unfortunately, these people, some people in this country are against capital punishment, which is why our punishments are not so stringent over here. And I think that's sad. It's counterproductive and counterintuitive. And the last thing I want to say is, like you said, with the people who make these false claims and all this, that, and the other, I seriously thought filing a false police report was a serious crime. At what point did it become something like, oh, it's not that serious? She made a false claim on this black man or this powerful man or whatever the case may be, and they don't get punished. But this, like you said, this person could lose everything. This person could be totally innocent, lose his wife, lose his pension, lose his job, lose, you know, all of that for someone who lied. And it's like, now that this person has been proven innocent, now everybody want to come back around. It's like, no, get out my face. Because when I was telling you it was messed up, y'all ain't want to listen.
Nope. Damn sure can't.
I think they made a movie about that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think they made a movie about that.
It's insane.
It is insane. It's ridiculous. It makes no damn sense. But
So people,
go ahead.
That just blows my mind that you can make, you know, false allegations like that and come back and say, okay, well, I lied. And there are no repercussions behind that.
Right.
None. You don't get, you know, fine. You don't do any jail time. You don't have to pay restitution. None of that. Just, oh, okay. What kind of world do we live in where that people are allowed to get away with that?
Yeah. I don't get it. But I think it's frustrating to me, because as you were saying earlier, hell, if you wanted that bad, go pay for it off the clock. I mean,
yeah, right.
It's people have access to people of their preference anywhere they want without forcing it, without being disrespectful, without any type of stuff like this that will cause any problems. And it literally blows my mind that you want to put yourself in a situation to where it's going to affect your livelihood. It's going to affect your name, your family's name, your family in general, your job. It's going to affect that person mentally, emotionally, and whatever the case may be. Again, this is not victim shaming because at the end of the day, each person has to find their individual strength and speaking up or speaking out on whatever happens to them. But these perpetrators, they piss me off more than anything because it's unnecessary. I see no reason why you have to do this to anyone. I don't understand it.
No, I mean, we're in a place now where cancel culture is damn near taken all the way over. So when you find people, being falsely accused, again, how Phoenix was saying, their whole livelihood has been basically snatched from them under, this false flag of this person did XYZ, but they had absolutely nothing to do with that.
Right.
So then when it comes, back into the light that this person, has been lying all this time, again, this person has been canceled. Their career is over. Their family is gone. Their income, in some cases is definitely gone. But again, the person who's making these false allegations, I'm good. I got my 15 minutes of fame. I got my checks from going on this show and that show. It's I'll save it for later. But there's a celebrity where another celebrity accused this celebrity of doing something, I guess you can say morally wrong, and then came back and said, "No, I lied about it." But at that point, that celebrity, his contracts were ripped up. He had major deals going or trying to be put in place.
Wow.
But everybody that was doing business with him cut him the hell off.
That's crazy.
I'm not gonna say any names, but it's crazy again that the person making a false accusations, nothing happened to them. They didn't file any or get any charges against them. The public eye, no one, put them under the microscope and said, you were this, that, and that, and whatever the case may be. And they didn't get canceled. But anyway, again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in to this segment. We still have a few more thoughts we're going to throw out there on this. But again, if you guys want to tune in or, send email to us, we're at KINGANDEYE369@gmail.com. Again, that's KingandI369@gmail.com. If you want to come on the show, if you have some topics you want us to chop up, please send them in.
Yes. We still gonna get into this because it's one of those topics where it's always front and center every time you turn around. But
yes, sir.
We shall return.